Hello, today is Tuesday, May 17th, 2022. Tomorrow was 16th. Yesterday was 16th. Tomorrow, 昨天, 明天 in Chinese is Wednesday, May 18th in 2022. That's a special day for Guangzhou people. I live in Guangzhou. I am not political, but tomorrow is the 31st anniversary of the May 18th movement against dictatorship. Regardless, for this week, I would like to read some articles about marriage affair, child upbringing, human relationship, all the stresses, all the happiness we have while living on earth. So here's first article that I've never read. I am reading this article as a part of my daily English reading exercise. I would like to read aloud one article per day to practice speaking English, pronunciation, colloquialism, correct grammar usage, and other way of thinking, logic, Western logic, and a practical advice about our daily life, and also some guidelines for working much smarter, and so on. So here we go. Tikva Lake. Contact us when you are ready. 954-689-4054. How an affair impacts your marriage. June 6th, 2021. So it's almost 11 months old. Mental health, personality, affair, infidelity, marriage, mental health, relationships. Tikva Lake recovery. Infidelity undermines the very foundation of marriage in many ways. It causes heartbreak and devastation, loneliness, feelings of betrayal, and confusion to one or both spouses in a marriage. Some marriages break after an affair. Others survive, become stronger, and more intimate. What is considered an affair? The definition of an affair varies between partners and couples. For instance, an emotional affair is still considered infidelity for some people, despite the absence of physical connection. A person may consider watching pornography as cheating, while another may not. Some people may only view affairs as sex outside the relationship. However, emotional affairs of any kind are harmful to the marriage. It could mean that the straying partner no longer invests in the relationship. So here's the straying partner. That's good expression. Straying, straggle. When the soldiers stray from the war combat, they are called stray, or strayer, or straggle, or striggle. So straying partner, a cheating partner, who veers off the mutual path. After affairs take many forms. That's another good expression. Affairs take many forms. Affairs take many forms. While certain kinds are very clear-cut, others vary. While certain kinds are very clear-cut, others vary. While certain kinds are very clear-cut, others vary. Each party should define their interpretation of an affair in the context of marriage and their expectations for each other. That's another good expression. So we learned that affairs take many forms. While certain kinds are very clear-cut, others vary, and their expectations for each other. In the context of marriage, there's good expressions. Each party should define their interpretation of an affair in the context of marriage and their expectations for each other. Types of infidelity. Object affair. This happens when a partner neglects the relationship to follow an interest outside the marriage. The pursuit can get to an obsessive point. Sexual affair. One partner has sex outside the relationship without an emotional attachment to other person. According to some studies, women are more likely to give an affair if there is no emotional connection than men. Cyber affair. Online infidelity is a brief emotional involvement with someone met online with no immediate intention of physical, sexual intimacy. It takes place via sexting and chatting. This includes watching pornography. Emotional affair. An emotional affair is a romantic relationship in which one partner establishes an intimate relationship with someone outside the marriage. The outside individual is often of the opposite gender, and the unfaithful partner may spend much time communicating with them. The unfaithful partner can discuss problems within the relationship with the outsider and neglect their partner. Sex isn't always involved in an emotional affair. An affair that combines sexual and emotional intimacy is often considered a secondary relationship. An affair. Reasons why affairs happen. Lack of satisfaction in the relationship. For a relationship to be successful, both partners should feel stable and secure in all aspects. Aside from physical intimacy, this also requires emotional intimacy. If one of these areas is lacking, the relationship begins to feel unsatisfactory, increasing the likelihood of having an affair. Feeling unappreciated, feeling undervalued can relate to unrealistic expectations of a partner rather than actual neglect. For example, when both partners are working, women mainly handle household duties and childcare. In such a case, an affair validates the other person's sense of worth. An affair validates the other person's sense of worth. Body image and age. Most middle-aged people have affairs with younger men as a way for them to prove that they are still attractive. A spouse can blame the affair on the partner's let himself or herself go. Body image and age. Opportunity. Prolonged periods apart can present an opportunity for affairs. For instance, traveling for work or enlisting in the military. The absence facilitates a lower risk of getting caught and can lead to loneliness and resentment. Facilitates, that's a good word. While long distance is not ideal for marriage, there are alternative ways to strengthen the marriage when apart. Other common reasons outside of sex that contribute to infidelity include lack of affection and commitment, lack of emotional intimacy, fondness, and caring for each other. Breakdown of communication that relates to emotional needs. Physical health issues such as chronic pain or disability. Mental health issues including depression, anxiety, ADD, learning disabilities, or bipolar disorder. Substance abuse and addiction, including addiction to sex, gambling, drugs, or alcohol. Unaddressed marital problems that have accumulated over the years. Personal unhappiness, avoidance of personal or relationship problems, low self-esteem, boredom, and desire for new sexual experiences to end the main relationship. Revenge. Effects of infidelity on the uninvolved partner. The effects of infidelity spread to other people besides the spouses, such as children. They affect the other partner both physically and mentally, making them experience anxiety and depression, rage and post-traumatic stress, PTSD. Rage and post-traumatic stress, post-traumatic stress, PTSD. American soldiers have many PTSD symptoms. Increased distress, self-blame, and shame. The affected partners tend to blame themselves for the affair and often wonder if they weren't enough. It's important to remember that the decision to cheat is entirely on the other person, even if there were some problems in the relationship before. Low confidence and self-esteem. It's common to feel disoriented as the things that provided a sense of comfort no longer do. Finding a sense of stability within yourself is the key to realizing your strengths and ability to cope with a situation. Poor performance both at work and socially. It's important to avoid making major changes to aspects of your life while in emotional distress due to the affair. Healing takes time. There's another expression. Healing takes time. So having a support network of family and friends helps you find ways to addressing the effects of the affair. Loss of trust in the cheating spouse. The victim of an affair often finds it difficult to trust and doubts their judgment of other people. If they decide on a new relationship, mistrust can follow. It is important to deal with the trust issues and negative effects of the affair by getting professional help. People who get cheated on are more likely to engage in high-risk behaviors. This could be having sex while on drugs, unprotected sex, drug and substance abuse, overeating or under-eating, and over-exercising. Effects of infidelity on the partner who cheats. Infidelity also affects the partner involved in the affair, especially if it lasts for extended periods. The person may experience increased anxiety or depression. They may feel overwhelming guilt, feeling helpless or trapped in the relationship. An affair can last longer because they may feel it's challenging to change the situation. The longer it drags on, the more intense the effects will be. Most affairs become exposed, and the fear of speaking up about it harms both partners further. Additional effects of infidelity, financial consequences. In most cases, marital funds get used on the new partner for things such as meals, dates, hotels, gifts, to name a few. Let's see, meals, dates, hotels, gifts, to name a few. Meals, dates, hotels, gifts, to name a few. We normally say hotel rooms, but here hotels are enough. Meals, dates, hotels, gifts, to name a few. This is a form of dissipating marital income. In the event of divorce, the court considers that the fact when dividing assets, and you may need to reimburse your spouse some amount. A woman can spend money on personal enhancements, such as cosmetic surgery, during an affair. If a divorce follows shortly, this act is dissipating marital income as well. Most couples opt for marriage counseling, with separate individual sessions and joint sessions. This is another financial consequence of having an affair, as therapy sessions cost money. Another consequence is the loss of income, where one partner loses a job. There are legal fees involved with the divorce, consultations, and counseling for the children involved. Effects on children and family. The emotional turmoil that comes with the discovery of an affair can be intense. If you and your spouse decide to stay married, there are many emotional hurdles to get through. For instance, there is telling the truth and all details of the affair. There is need to reconnect while acknowledging the anger and hurt. The relationship with your children can suffer significantly if they learn about the affair, whether during or after. Children can end up losing respect and trust in their parent who had an affair. They can also develop a negative attitude towards the partner who wasn't involved, feeling like they pushed their spouse to have an affair. Children can feel betrayed, especially if the affair results in a divorce. interrupting or distorting the family life they have adapted to. Some children may end up doing the same thing themselves subconsciously once they get married, in imitating their parents at fault. Doing the same thing themselves subconsciously once they get married, imitating the parent at fault. That's good expression. Imitating their parent at fault. Parent at fault. Imitating the parent at fault. Imitating. Imitating the parent at fault. Imitating the parent at fault. Effects on sexual health. Affairs can have sexual health implications, especially where there's unprotected sex. They expose the other partner to STIs, some of which have no symptoms. If left untreated, they can have severe consequences on their reproductive health. Mending a broken marriage. Recovering from an affair is a difficult, uncertain, and challenging journey for both spouses. However, as couples rebuild trust, reconciliation can strengthen and fortify the relationship. Admission of guilt and forgiveness can renew the love and affection between spouses. Here are some steps that promote healing. Take some time off. Before making a final decision to stay or leave, take some time to heal and understand the reasons and motivating factors behind the affair. Avoid making rash decisions in emotional stress. Rash decisions. Avoid making rash decisions in emotional distress. Seek professional help from a marriage counselor or a therapist and learn how to prevent an affair from recurring in the future. Be acceptable. If you were at fault, take responsibility for your actions and end the affair, including all interactions and communication with the other person. If the affair was at work, limit interactions with a coworker to business or find an alternative workplace. If the affair is at work, if the affair was at work, that's another good expression. It's a simple situation, but when you are at a loss about usage, you use a different lengthy English, but this is quite simple. If the affair is at work, if the affair is at work, I try to memorize on the spot. Once I found the expression right there. Get help from different sources. Enlist the help of understanding people who will not pass judgment. Will not pass judgment. While the clergyman pass judgment. And some monks, some leaders, teachers, counselors pass judgments. Friends, acquaintances, they pass judgment. These can be trusted friends, experienced spiritual leaders, and qualified counselors. Look for a licensed therapist who specializes in marital therapy and has experience in dealing with infidelity. Marriage counseling helps you think about whether the affair is big enough to affect your marriage and how you can move past it. Identify issues that may have contributed to the affair. Learn how to rebuild and strengthen your relationship. Avoid divorce. If you are not up for the idea of marriage counseling, Consider individual therapy as a channel to explore your feelings and help you ground your choices. Help you ground your choices. Like a base making a base for making choices. Ground your choices. You are grounded. Down to earth decisions. Ground your choices and help you ground your choices. Ground your choices. If the affair is at work, ground your choices facilitates. Restore trust. Agree and come up with a plan to restore trust and a process to facilitate reconciliation. Facilitate reconciliation. If you were unfaithful, admit guilt and seek genuine forgiveness. If your partner was cheating, offer forgiveness where possible and find understanding together. Okay, so let's move on. Did you like this? Share it. No comments for how an affair impacts your marriage. Leave comment. Comment name, email, website. Submit comment. Tifa Lake Recovery Oasis. Admissions, financial policy. Who we help? Contact us. Notice of privacy practices. So this article is good. Pretty much what we think, or pretty much what I expected. Good read. Thanks. I have to go to work, so I cannot go over the expressions, but such as facilitate a reconciliation. If the affair is at work. What else? Yeah, right there. See, affair was at work. Be accountable, seek professional help, take time off, mending a broken marriage, effects on sexual health, children betrayal, imitating the parent at fault. Imitating the parent at fault here. Imitating the parent at fault. Yeah, that's standard psychological response by children. Very standard. For instance, effects. Women can spend time, money. Name a few. Yes, name a few. Affair, anxiety, depression, professional help. Obviously, they need to make money. Affair, cyber, sexual. So there are different kinds of affair. Let's go over. Object affair, sexual affair, cyber affair. So you follow the objects outside marriage, sex, cyber, and finally emotional affair. Okay, so I have to go to work now. What is considered an affair? Yeah. Okay, thanks. I will upload this one onto the YouTube now.